Praises to the Most High. Shabbat Shalom, everybody in Christ's glorious church, in Christ's glorious body. I don't even know what we're talking about tonight, y'all. What you say? Random Sabbath scripture. Hmm. I'm looking at these notes, y'all. Whoo. It's some good ones, right? It's some good ones here, y'all. Hope y'all are getting ready to enjoy y'all Sabbath, right? Don't want to go there? Nah, I don't want to do that. Oh, that one's too deep right now. That's no, we're not gonna do that one right now. No, we don't do that one either. Dang, what can we do? Let's read Enoch. Let's read Enoch chapter 15. Right? So that we can understand these demons, right? First of all, how y'all doing? How everybody doing out there? Right? Cali Hood, certified. Hello, Elder. Please don't call me that. Please don't call me no Elder. That's a frowned upon title right now. Make me want to reverse my age. I want to get younger. Right? All praises. Call me whatever I am to you. All praises. Call me whatever, brother. uh, Ty Brown, Shabbat Shalom. Blessed art. I'm very happy and full of joy. It don't get no better than that, huh? Because it's a cold existence to exist in, man. It's easy to get up under, man, the devil's thumb and he get you all funky and get you in that, get you in one of his emotions that don't belong to the Most High. Fear. Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear. Confusion. The Most High is not the author of confusion, right? Anger. He gets angry. But when we get angry, it's like You created, you know? All you got to do is coexist. Look across the plane at who else exists. That's all you got to do. You know, you didn't create anybody. Like, how is any of us angry? That's crazy. You didn't create nobody. Nobody's disobeying you, even if they spit in your face. Like, who are you? You know? But when you create the earth and you create all these people and you got, you know what I mean? And then they're not acting right, you know? They're choosing your adversary who went rogue. Then you can be angry. You know what I'm saying? Anger is crazy. Literally, literally. I've been saying that, you know, but anger, that's, you know, when we do it, it's like, nah, only the Most High has the right, right? And he said, be angry and sin not. If you want to be angry, sin not. Cause he ain't sinning when he angry, right? So even if we get angry, we don't get to act on it and try to end nobody and try to play him, you know. We don't get to do that. Thank you for having Jerry on live. They are writing a grant for me and sent out letters to Fortune 500 companies. Oh, you got all the way that far? All praises. Yep, you something gonna come back, right? Did you get the oh, you got the letter? You writing the grant. So if you writing the grant, you got the 501c3. And if you're writing the grant, my next question would be, is he writing you a letter? And you said he's sending out letters. So you got the whole, you know, next thing you gonna hear is how many thousands you got. All praise it to the Most High. Yeah, that's only the tip of it, y'all. You know, y'all stay tuned. Oh, you already had the 501c3. All praises. Yep, yep. I'm waiting to hear the good ideas come in. You know, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm doing mechanics and agriculture. That's already what I want to do. But I love hearing what brothers and sisters got going, though. You know, man, y'all be having some good stuff. I already got what I want to do, so it ain't like I'm trying to bite your style or nothing. But you know, man, yeah, for the homeless, man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Mine is for the youth, you know. Some brothers, you know, 18 to 24 or so, and just teach them about cars. You know, we might get up under the hood and get it running, or we might roll it into the booth and paint it, put some candy paint on it and some flakes and all. I do all of that, y'all. You know, uh, it's gonna be beautiful, man. Get some brothers out the streets for a while, you know. The kind of stuff I was wishing was available for me when I was in at them ages, you know, and in the midst of it, hey, how you feel about Christ, homie? You know what I'm saying? you know, you know how we moving. You know, the Most High in Christ is he gonna have a, you know, and then they gonna find out who somebody named Brother Bronze is. All praise to the Most High. Showmanship, you know, that's all it is. Yep, but all praises, Sabbath rest. All praises, my brother. Uh, build with the busters. Blessings, family. We made it to another Sabbath. Made it at the end of another 7, right? At the end of another 7, baby. Right? I'm going to start a farm. Yeah, start that farm, please. Please, Ricardo Gonzalez. Get your farm going, brother, and let us know, man. Whatever area you in and the people that surround you, they're gonna come buy your produce, man. I was checking out a farm earlier today. It's real cool. It was real cool, man. Uh, I forgot what the name of them are. It ain't like they plaster no signs up or nothing like that. So it's easy to forget the name of them. I found them. My wife found them on the internet. And you go through there. You could go through there 4 days a week and eat. And on Fridays, they give you a big old basket, and that you get to take home. So I praise it to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Everything is organic and non-GMO, and you get to pick it. How fresh is that? You picking it right off the vine, right? But roll call, Michael Corbett, Shabbat Shalom, Sabbath Rest, Shabbat Shalom, Ricardo Gonzalez, Shabbat Shalom family, right? Pretty Wings, Shabbat Shalom, Cruising, Shabbat Shalom, Build with the Buster, Shabbat Shalom, right? Who else we got? We got Ty Brown up in here, right? We got Cali Hood certified. We got Stephanie Hodge, Shabbat Shalom, y'all. My sister Michelle H. Shabbat Shalom. We got the broadcast in here. Shabbat Shalom, Brother Mark. We need to tap in. See what's going on. Touch bases. Miss Angel 3. Shabbat Shalom. Brother JD. Shabbat Shalom. Uh, Sister Yapad Judah. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Somebody's pulling out. Cruising is pulling out John 14 and 27. Let's go to that. Let's see what that is. Should we precept it or should we leave it where it is? 14:27. Let's see. John 14 and 27. All right. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Right? What's his peace? Well, his Sabbath peace is one of them, right? That's one of them, definitely, right? Precept, Philippians 4 and 7. And the peace of the Most High, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Yahshua, right? Want to get another one? To get another one. St. John chapter 16, verse 33. These things have I spoken unto you that ye might have peace. Right? In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Why is he saying be of good cheer? So you can stay full of them good spirits. You in tribulation now. Tribulation. That's all, it's going wrong. Tribulation is yikes, right? You got the fire of the enemy on your back. It's burning you. That tribulation, right? He said, be a good cheer in that. Try it. Have you ever tried that before? The worst situation you in. Just fill up with the type of spirits that put a smile on your face, right? Or even start grinning and laughing in the middle of it, right? Watch how it blocks things. Watch how goodness is able to break through and bust through, right? That's crazy, you know? There, it's deep. But let's check out Enoch chapter 15, though. Let's get into that, right? And he answered and said unto me, right, says Enoch, and I heard his voice, fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness. And freeze it. I felt that too, y'all. I didn't see him, I didn't hear his voice, but it comes how your thoughts come, right? And once I had my experience, I knew that throughout my life, that was him. That's how he communicates. You'll just get a thought or you'll fill up with emotions, right? You ever heard the choir singing and it's getting deep and you start quivering in your body? That's the most high filling you up. Your mouth start quivering, you about to start crying, you trying to stop your eyes from welling up because they singing them praises. That's the spirit of the most high filling you up, right? And you standing there and you trying not to holler, right? But as suddenly as them feelings come on you like that, oh, that's how that realm was, you know? And it just filled up with, it filled me up with a whole bunch of knowledge, you know? Things I used to wonder about, I knew instant, instantly, right? But yeah, that's what that remind me of when Enoch says, fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness, right? I knew that the Most High saw me as a righteous man, right? He articulated that because we worry about that, you know. We really do worry about that. And everywhere you go, every direction you go in, you got somebody telling you that you're missing the mark, that you're not righteous, and that we're all filthy rags and all of that. The Most High killed all of that crap. You know what I'm saying? You know, he killed all of that, y'all. Nah, you know when you're doing right. You know right from wrong because he wrote it on our hearts, right? Jeremiah 30. He wrote it on our hearts. And we know when we doing bad because we feel bad. We know when we broke something, right? We know when we didn't perform as good as we could have performed. We know when we done dropped the ball, and that doesn't feel good, you know. But man, when you on your good streak and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and your spirit is flying high, right? You're feeling like that because the Most High is in control of our emotions, right? He's in control of what we're feeling. When you feel like that, you at that moment, you're pleasing him, y'all. You're pleasing him at that moment. But my fault, I didn't mean to go on that tangent like that. But man, it's just so deep, right? Let's just read it. Let's just read this first, right? Let's read it all the way through first and then go back and give our commentaries and discuss whatever punctuation we want to, you know what I mean? But let's start over. And he answered and said unto me, and I heard his voice. Fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness. Approach hither and hear my voice, and go, and go. Say to the watchers of heaven, right, who have sent thee to intercede for them, you should intercede for men and not men for you. 3. Wherefore ye have left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourself with the daughters of men, and taken to yourself wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons. 4. And though you were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourself with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who die and perish. 5. Therefore have I given them wives also, that they might impregnate them and beget children by them. Right? So that's why part of why you've been given a wife. You come here and prove that, right? And immortal for all generations of the world. 7. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you. For as for spiritual ones in of the heavens, in heaven is their dwelling. 8. And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth. And on the earth shall be their dwelling. So that's where evil spirits come from, right? 9. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. 10. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. 11. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. Yikes. So that's how we got evil spirits, y'all. Right there. That's how we got them. Now let's go back and break this down. And he answered and said unto me, I heard his voice, fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness, approach hither and hear my voice. 2. And go say to the watchers of heaven what he got to go say to the watchers of heaven, who sent thee to intercede for them. So them angels, they sent Enoch to the Most High for them to intercede for them. And the Most High is sending Enoch back to the angels to tell them this. This is in parentheses. You should intercede for men, and men not for you. So why are you coming and telling me I sent you down to the earth to intercede for men? How are you sending a man back to intercede for you? Right? What they're saying to Enoch, right? Wherefore have ye left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourself with the daughters of men, and taken to yourself wives, and done like the children of the earth, and begotten giants as your sons. Right? So this is deep right here. Right? This is something that we can go into too at a future date. How in the spiritual realm, right? They are huge. When something comes from that spiritual realm and comes into this earth and mix, it's huge, right? It'd be a big like the Nephilim, right? Them giants, those giants. How about the Most High in, I think it's Genesis or Exodus? I think it's Exodus, where Moses was able to see the Most High, right? And he was begging the Most High to show him himself in his likeness and his glory. And he put Moses, he picked Moses up and put him in the side of that mountain. Think about how big the Most High had to be to do that. He's huge, right? He picked Moses up off the ground and put Moses in a hole in the side of a mountain in the cave and covered the hole of the cave. And he told Moses, "You can't see my face. If you see my face, you'll drop dead," right? So he told Moses, "You want to see me? I'll let you see the back of me," right? So he picked Moses up off the ground, put him in the side of a cave in a mountain, right, and covered the hole up, and got like that, turned his back, and let Moses see his back, right? But the Most High is huge. When he translated himself into this realm, that's how big he was, right? Big enough to take Moses in his hand and sit him in the side of a mountain, and he let Moses see him walk off. But and that's how them Nephilim came in Genesis chapter 6, right? There was giants in the earth in those days, and so on and so forth, right? But yeah, that's deep. That's another something to go into. But man, that's how, because the spirits in those realm, when they mess around in this realm, they made giants, right? And that's also in the same chapter, where where they say it was giants in the earth in those days. It goes in to what the giants was doing and stuff. So you could go read that if you feel like it, right? But back to Enoch chapter 15. We're at verse 4. And though ye were wholly spiritual, living an eternal life, you have defiled yourself with the blood of women and have begotten children with the blood of flesh as the children of men. So, like men, you didn't went in the earth and had babies with these women, right? And what else did they do? You have lusted after flesh and blood, and those also do who die and perish. So what's going to happen? What is he telling them? He's telling them kids you made down there, they're going to die too, right? They're going to die as well. And then it's going to go into telling us what's going to happen once they die, right? Therefore, I have given them wives. So that's why that's why I gave men wives so they could keep on going and reproducing, right? It's going to tell us that. Therefore, have I given them wives also that they might impregnate them and beget sons and beget children by them, that thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth, right? So that means we'll have all we need to continue forward, right? And keep reproducing. And the Most High is telling them angels, that's why I gave them women so that they could keep reproducing and living on, right? 6, but you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore, I have not appointed wives for you, right? So he's telling them that's why I didn't give y'all beautiful women like them men got, because you guys are already eternal. You don't need to have no children, right? Yeah, it makes sense. That's why it's better, just to obey the Most High, you know, and wait for him to give you his reasoning on why he does certain things, right? Because when he start telling you why he does certain things, you're gonna feel stupid, right? Because you didn't got all raw, right, and did all of these things that you didn't need to do, not knowing why he does what he does, right? But then when he tells you why he does what he does, you feel stupid. And not only do you feel stupid, but you realize what you have ruined, right? 9 times out of 10, you done messed up something that you can't fix. Because it takes the power of God to fix it, which is why he has his rules, right? Mm-mm-mm. Men are doing the same thing, right? Same thing. 7, and therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for as for the spiritual ones uh, of the heaven, and in heaven is their dwelling. 8, and now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and upon the earth shall be their dwelling. So these ain't allowed into the heavens. It's what he's saying. In the earth is gonna be their dwelling. They got no place in heaven. What is that? Man, that's the devil, man. You know? Yikes. 9. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies because they are born from men, right? And from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. So they started with the holy watchers. They mixed with men, and now they something else. There's something that ain't even welcome in the heavens, y'all. Right? They shall be evil spirits upon the earth. So these evil spirits, they ain't allowed into the heavens. They're allowed in this earth, right? They're allowed in the earth. They ain't allowed in the heavens. When they die, you can't see them no more, but they don't get to leave here, right? So when the spirits of these giants left their bodies, they stayed in this earth, right? Wow, that's deep, y'all. That's where evil spirits come from, right? And you can imagine, I mean, that was really on the man when they was wicked before this happened and they were wicked. I mean, like Cain, I mean, you could get to the bottom of that, you know? It wasn't as hard as it was for us to have to deal with this invisible evil spirit on us, right? And invoking its emotions on us, right? Yeah. That made that twice as hard. This made righteousness twice as hard, y'all, when this happened, right? You can just imagine, right? 10. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling, right? So the regular angels, they're still welcome back and forth in and out of the earth. Like we read in Job, right? How they go before the Most High every night. And once upon a time, Satan was going with them, right? That's how they had that conversation, you know, walking up and down to and fro on the earth, seeking who I may devour. You know, when he asks uh, Satan, from where comest thou? You know, they used to travel, they was free to travel back and forth, you know. But this is telling us these ones, they could still do that. But the ones that they came down here and had with flesh, they can't do that, right? But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. And now it's going to tell us what they do, right? Verse 11. Remember, I told you there ain't nothing but 11 verses, right? And the spirits of the giants, not the giants, but the spirits of the, after these giants die, right? The spirits of these giants, what do? They afflict. So when you see somebody afflicting, afflicting pain, right? And getting a kick out of that, they full with these evil spirits right here. They full of these evil spirits right here, right? Anytime you see that, anytime you seeing somebody lacking mercy and all that, and just having fun, just right, just crushing somebody and hurting somebody, right? And imagine they're doing this falsely. On top of that, I mean, you shouldn't even do that if somebody is really guilty, you know? Get your point across, lead them people alone, let them soak in that. But when you just see them just hunkering down, just right? No mercy, afflict to afflict. They got an evil spirit on them, y'all. Right? They afflict. What else they do? They oppress. Right? What is oppress? Oppress is not fair, right? Oppression is being done just because I can, right? Just because I'm able to, just because I'm stronger than you, right? I'm gonna boss you around and I'm gonna have my way with you, right? That's oppression, right? What's happening to Judah in America is oppression, right? They could free us right now. They could help us right now. They have the means right now to get rid of poverty altogether where we live. Right now, they can do that. Everybody who's laid up, curled up in the ball, hungry, they can stop that right now, right? They can liberate the whole ghetto right now if they wanted to. They could do that, right? And when they don't do it, that's suppression, right? To keep somebody down, right? Well, they had to do that, right? Once upon a time, we wasn't like that. So they had to do that to us. So why would they want to take it off? They fought to get it like that. Ain't no mercy. But guess what? We got Judah doing that to Judah now. You know, you're not bringing nothing new when you tell these people, these leaders, and all of this, when you're telling them what we're missing and what we hurting behind and what they could easily fix. They have the power to easily fix the things that we're asking for, right? And they don't do it. That's oppression, y'all, right? You feel like you bringing something brand new that they ain't never thought about. They thought about it. Think about it. They thought about it. They know how they could help and they know what we're missing. And it ain't about that. It ain't about putting those things there. No, it's about you being oppressed. It's about you feeling that pain. It's about you fearing. It's about you fearing them and feeling the inferiority, complex, right? That's a deep word right there, right? They afflict, they oppress. What else they do? They destroy, right? They destroy. You got a good idea, they crush it, right? I'm just giving examples. They'll say, casting down all imagination. They like to wear that out. Oh, casting down all imaginations. No, casting down what imagination? If you're looking at the scripture, it's going to say casting down all uh all imaginations that do what? Exalt themselves against the power of God. People ain't exalting themselves against the power of God, right? Matter of fact, sometimes it be the Most High's idea that they bring in, and you casting down the imagination, right? And everywhere that that's happening, right? Everywhere that destruction is happening, everywhere something is being destroyed, whether it be an idea or a person or whatever. The Most High doesn't do that. The Most High gives life to things, right? And if you're trying to start something and feel some type of a void of something that you see lacking, right? That's the Most High trying to give birth to a thing. And he's speaking to you, right? And putting the spirit on you to bring something forward that people lack, right? That's the opposite of destroy, y'all. I've seen so many good things get shut down. And it's like, man, why would you shut that down? You know what I mean? That was good. That was a good thing getting ready to work. Why would you shut that down? Because they destroy. What else they do? Attack. They attack, y'all. Pounce. Ah, that's an attack. Right? It's out of nowhere. You like, whoa, what's that? What is this about? That's what evil spirits do. They attack, right? Everybody is at peace and chilling. And all of a sudden, this evil spirit, right? It causes a commotion, and now everything is all crazy. Everybody's all shook up, right? Because they attack, and you feel attacked. You don't feel like you should be getting jumped on at the moment that it's happening to you, right? You like, man, like, where is this coming from? That's an attack, y'all. That's what evil spirits do. They afflict, they oppress, they destroy, they attack. What else they do? They do battle, y'all. They do battle. They want to fight. They like to fight, right? You don't even want to fight, but they're going to make you fight, right? A battle is back and forth. A battle is a two-way street, ain't it? So they want you to attack back. It's halfway no fun in them just clobbering you, but they'll do it. But they would rather you fill up with furiousness too and pounce back on them, right? They get a satisfaction out of seeing you do that and seeing you give the hate a shot as well, right? They love when you trying to take their neck off. They like that. They would rather have you doing that, right? Than to have you you know, sticking to your piece, you know. They don't like that. Oh, they hate that. That's the worst thing you could do to them is respond humbly. They hate that, right? That fired them up more. You're like, man, the Bible told me that a kind word turn away wrath, right? A gentle response, however it's worded, right? Like, man, it seemed to be making this person matter. That's why, because they like to do battle. What else they do? And work destruction on the earth, right? They work destruction on the earth. They love seeing something come down, right? That's what their satisfaction is in. When a man, his satisfaction is in building something, right? A man would rather see something built, see something go up, right? Not no evil spirit. They like seeing stuff come down, right? That's what they would rather see. They work destruction on the earth. And what else they do? They cause trouble. They cause trouble, right? So there isn't any trouble, but they'll cause it, right? They really don't have no reason to be tripping, but nah, I want to trip. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I want to trip, you know, so we gonna trip. We gonna do, you know what I'm saying? I want to trip. So we gonna do this, you know what I'm saying? You know, they caused trouble. They caused trouble. It wasn't no trouble until they caused it, right? Con, right? And what else they do? They take no food. They don't eat, right? They don't eat anything, but nevertheless, hunger and thirst, right? So they still want to eat. So what are they doing? They're doing that through you. You're gonna eat, you know. You're gonna be hungry, right? And that's why they don't want us to plant these vineyards. Because when you eating healthy, you eating fruit and vegetables, salads and stuff like that, chickpeas, you know, lentils, quinoa, things like this, you get full and you be full off of nothing, right? You're gonna find yourself only eating one meal a day when you're eating like that, right? Because you're feeding all your body needs all of them vitamins and electrolytes that's coming out of the ground, right? You come to watch, she like that. She like what I'm talking about. She gonna come start blowing through here majorly, right? She blowing my stuff all over the place. You like that, mama? Am I on it? You're gonna find yourself not wanting to eat much. You know, you eat like one meal a day. They don't want that, right? They want you gorging. You know, you eating meat. and bread and cheese and butter, and you know what I'm saying? You eating like that, you're gonna really take them 3 meals per day. You're gonna eat them all, and you're gonna eat big meals, right? And it's gonna be high calories, and it's gonna be a lot of sodium in it, right? It's gonna be a lot of sugar in it. It's gonna, you know what I mean? And you destroying yourself. That stuff is gonna lay right on your kidneys and your liver and your heart and your arteries and all of that, and it mess with your brain. You know, you can't think straight. You got this brain fog. You running from room to room in your house, like, why did I come in here again? You know, you know, that's coming from your diet, y'all, and you get mad quick. You know, you're easily irritated. That your mood is coming from your food, right? And I didn't mean for that to rhyme like that, but it's true. Your mood is coming from your food, y'all, right? I'm trying to tell y'all, right? Them is evil spirits that want that diet, that want to eat that food, right? That food that you like to eat, right? The SAD diet, that SAD diet, that standard American diet. You know what I'm saying? Right. Gluttony is one of the 7 sins, right? The deadly 7 sins, right? And all of the kings was fat, you know? All of the kings was big and overweight because they just sat there at a feast at a table every day and just gorged themselves with this food, right? And big turkey legs and just, you know what I'm saying? Right? And everything was festivities and a big table full of food, right? A big football field table full of just food and just, you know, music and dancing and wine and just, you know what I mean? You know, it was a certain person that was overweight back in the days. Everybody didn't get to look like that back in the days, right? But that's something that they expanded to the regular brother, right? Gluttony, y'all. You know, telling you, man, I never thought about that like that. That's deep. I wasn't even giving it all of that range, but it's true. It's true, right? They take no food, nevertheless, they hunger and thirst. That's evil spirits that's hungry and thirsty like that, y'all. Right? And that's why we fast. This is why we fast, y'all. You want to take it to the evil spirits that are within you? Stop eating and drinking. Stop eating and drinking and watch, right? They're going to get up out of you. You're going to be happy, right? A different spirit comes upon you. You feel so close to the Most High. Shout out to all my warriors out there, right? That know how to go into a fast, right? And get busy, you know? Get busy on these demons. I was kicking their door in, you know? I was tearing them up. The Most High pulled me out of this whole earth. I was about to go into my 7th week of fasting when I had my incident, right? It was my 7th week. I saw the heavens, you know. They found a video that speaks of my incident, almost verbatim, right? But he's saying that I know where he was too. I know where he was, and I know where I was. Remember, I told y'all I was right up under the Most High. The Most High was like bang right there, right? Now this guy, he went and he's saying that the Most High, or he said it was a light, a bright light up and to the right. And he's saying that the earth was down into his left. Well, the light that he's seeing up and to the right, that's where the Most High was at. And I was right up under him. The realm I was at, it was right up under the Most High. He was in between me and the earth where I was, right? I know where he was at. I was actually in deeper than he came, right? But he had some anger issues and some things going on, and he still went to a good place. He went to a good place, and that's proof for us who sigh and cry. You know, he was of those who sigh and cry, and that, I mean, there's a forgiveness of that. The Most High, he's attached to people who are in sorrow, y'all. So that's why I've been telling y'all for the longest, if you gotta feel some pain, don't feel anger, you know, feel sorrow. Choose sorrow over anger, right? Be of those who sigh and cry, because you'll get a mark of. Let's go to it, right? Let's go to it. Right? Ezekiel 9:4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry. For what? For all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So these people are sighing and crying about the wickedness that they're seeing, right? And I believe that's what this dude was doing. He was ravished by racism somewhere in North Carolina through his birth, right? And it wouldn't allow him to live. You know, we gonna watch it because I found out how I can get to this. So let me make a note. We gonna watch his experience, right? Might even do it for the Sabbath. Might even do it tomorrow, right? Yeah, so I know where he was. Remember, I told y'all the earth was back behind. He was in between where I was and the earth, right? He was like halfway into that because he said, you know, the light was up and to his right, and the earth was down and to his left, right? But yeah, we gonna watch that, you know. But yeah, they take no food. Nevertheless, they hunger and thirst and cause offenses. They cause offenses, y'all. And what do we think an offense is? Just like, oh, I'm offended. No. Offenses go deeper than that. Offenses are offenses, you know, offenses are an invitation to sin. It's an invitation to sin. Right? It's a way to be offended righteously, you know. You are righteously, you're offending my righteousness, you know. A woman come to church, you know, with her figure out and things like that, you know. I'm like, man. Or men are like, I'm trying to think about the Most High. I'm coming in here, you know. I'm trying to get my mind off of women. I'm single, and you know, You know, I'm trying to do the me and the most high thing and be celebrating things like this, and you come here with cleavage, you know, that's an offense on you, right? A brother putting a stumbling block before you, you ready to trip and fall. He don't know what you've been through, you know, but he's inconsiderate and he's not thinking of that, right? But he got you, you know, battling within yourself. You're getting ready to fall short, you know, because of him and his actions and what he's bringing forward. That's an offense to you, right? Michael Corbet is pulling out Psalm 120, verses 1 through 2. In my distress, I cried unto the Lord, and he heard me and delivered my soul, right? Oh Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, all of that's offenses, but they call these evil spirits are going to cause that. And I was talking about the opposite of that on what song? On help each other. Let's help each other to serve the Most High and make the Most High happy instead of always helping each other to offend the Most High, right? And to make the Most High angry with us, right? Let's help each other serve the Most High, right? Let's help each other please the Most High. Ain't that beautiful? You know, when we can all work together, uh, we could all work together and please the Most High, right? Instead of being a cluster of people that's working to anger him, you know, and to let him down and things like this, right? I just posted this in the chat conversation earlier today. Wow. Yeah, all praise to the Most High, you know. Yeah, let's help each other, man. Put a smile on the Most High's face, you know. But see, we got some people who, on account of them, because they might have to take the short end of the stick, they willing to forget the Most High, right? Forget that, right? Nah, we gonna anger the Most High. Why? Because I feel like I'm having to take the short end of a stick, right? And the Most High will go out the window. Nah, we gonna anger everybody. We gonna make this whole Hebrew community uncomfortable and all of that. We don't care about that. Nah, you know, you do something to me. Oh, we gonna see, right? We gonna deal with this, right? Man, it's a cold thing, y'all. And it just helps you to understand how much. I don't want to call us blind, but we're not looking, right? We're just not paying attention, right? To be ignorant, you're ignoring something, right? It's beyond you not knowing. You're ignoring it. You know it. You have an idea. It ain't totally in your oblivion, you know. It's easy to figure out, but you're ignoring it, right? That's ignorance. It's there. It's easy to see if you wanted to see it, right? That's what ignorance is. You're ignoring something, right? All you got to do is break down these words and what they mean, and then it comes clear. Oh, like, man, What's wrong with us? And what has happened is you heard the word ignorance so many times that it loses its power. It doesn't mean anything. And that's what's going on in the earth. We're speaking all of these words and they don't mean anything anymore. You know, they worn out. Remember, I was telling y'all the other day, that's what the devil wants to do. He wants to make this stuff mean nothing, right? Or he want to make them trigger words. As soon as we hear the words ignorant, somebody, you know, use the word ignorant and you think that they're pertaining to you. It's like, wait a minute, are you calling me ignorant? And even if it's true, you don't want to be called ignorant. Even if you didn't know something, don't call me ignorant. You know, when sometimes it ain't another word for it. It ain't another word for it. Sometimes you got to call something what it is, you know. But yeah, we got to relearn language and everything and figure out what these words mean. Hey, what is your problem? Yeah, let's finish this. Right? And they cause offenses, and these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women. So that's what they're going to do, right? They're going to rise up against me and you. So when you see them rise up against us, don't question it. Oh, this has come so clear now that I realize everything that's going on, right? When you see them rise up against me and you, and right, when you see them rise up against the children of men, that's me and you, and against the women, against our mothers, sisters, right? They're working for that other side, y'all. A lot of people is going to be unknowingly, they don't know what they're doing, right? But there's another portion, they know what they're doing, y'all, and they know who it's another portion, they know what they're doing, y'all, and they know who they working for, right? Ponder on that. Woo-hoo. Boy, when y'all find out. Boy, when you find out, right? And these evil spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women. Why? Because they have proceeded from them, right? So they mad at us, right? We are their targets. Why? Because we are their mothers and fathers, or their mothers, right? Because it was the women that laid with them giants or laid with them spirits, right? It's deep. They was coming looking like your husband and everything, you know. They was fooling the women. They was playing with the women's heads and things like this, you know. But wherever you see that, y'all, that's where it's coming from. That's where evil spirits came from, you know. Evil spirits, y'all. That's why we fast and all of that. Let's go into some of what they taught, right? Let's go to Enoch chapter 8. Let's go to chapter 8. Enoch chapter 8. This is deep right here. Chapter been blowing my mind for years, right? It says, and Azazel, who there's a movie on Azazel with Denzel Washington in it. It's called uh, Fallen. Put it in here. Go watch that movie. It's about Azazel. He's one of the fallen angels. He's the main one, right? He's able to jump through people and things like that. But he's one of the original angels that came down and slept with women, right? But and Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates and made known to them the metals of the earth. The metals of the earth, y'all. So we wasn't even really dealing with no metals until uh, Azazel came and taught this, right? He came, I mean, you had to hit a brother over the head with a rock big enough. You had to go find you a nice boulder and bludgeon a brother with that to death, right? Before Azazel came and showed us the sword, right? He came and he showed us how to get that metal out the ground and burn it and turn it into a liquid and form it in whatever shape we wanted to go in and then beat it sharp, right? Showed us how to make a sword, right? And now you ain't got to go through all of the trouble of bludgeoning your brother. You could just stick that through his heart, right? Yak, right? Slice him, whoo, every which way but loose, right? Azazel came and taught that, y'all. He taught us war, swords, and knives. So, the swords is, you know, but you ain't gonna always be able to roll up with a big old sword. So he taught you how to make a little small a knife, right? They don't know what's going on till you get all up on them, right, and stick them, right? Yikes, right? The sword, the knife, the shield, right? So now not only are you playing with sharp knives, but now you got a shield, right? So they thrusting at you and you able to bing bing and you able to block, right? Why? Because chapter 15 told us they love to do battle, right? They love to do battle. So they relish in marvel in the fact that, yeah, try to poke me. I got this shield, right? Let me show you this, right? Yeah, you trying to stab them and you can't, right? They love that, y'all. They love that. And we see that a lot now. You can't shoot me now because guess why? Because I have a vest, right? Bulletproof vest. They put the bulletproof vests on nowadays, they feel right. They got little tricks and things like that. Okay, oh, you got a vest, huh? Now I got a Teflon bullet. It's gonna go through your vest, right? And they just, that's a battle, y'all. They going back and forth. Everything is new and improved, right? They're gonna find a way to get around things and still kill you. And then guess what? I got a way to block that, right? Check out this new thing I got here. New gadgets all the time, right? Yeah. That's war, y'all. That's battle right there. You know what I'm saying? Came from evil spirits and demons and things. That's where that's coming from. Azazel was a demon, y'all. In breastplates, right? That ain't nothing but a bulletproof vest before a sword, right? And made known to them metals, right? Metals of the earth and the art of working them. So he heating it up, turning it red hot, and then bink, 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 right? Metalwork. And what else? Bracelets, right? And ornaments, right? And the use of uh antimony, right? What is that? Right? Chemical elements, right? Of atomic numbers, right? Silvery white metalloid, right? It's metal, but it's atomic, right? And it's a chemical element. Yikes. These are weapons, y'all. It's a weapon, right? Makes things happen. What else did he teach? In the beautifying of the eyelids, right? So, my sisters, if you beautifying yourself, you putting on that makeup and all of that, I ain't saying nothing now, but just know where that came from. A fallen angel came and taught that, right? So be careful with that beautifying, and if you want to get the full gist of it, go into the apocalypse of Paul. They want to hang you by your eyelids for running around enticing men, you know, and beautifying yourself. And be careful with that. Be careful with the makeup and things, making your face up, because it goes deeper into that. It goes deeper into it, right? Beautifying the eyelids and all kinds of what? Costly stones. So they taught us about the diamonds and the different stones, rubies, the topaz, you know what I mean? The emerald, all of these different stones. And guess who was covered with that stuff? Satan, y'all. So be careful how much you love that stuff. Be careful how much you love it. I'm not saying don't like it. I'm not saying don't wear it. I'm just saying be aware that it's a thin line between liking to wear it and it done took over something spiritually and doing something spiritually to you now, you know, to where you using it as a charm and things like that, and you thinking that you ain't safe. That's a spirit that's on people. Nobody purposely did that. That thing is living, y'all. That's a living thing, right? That ever made somebody feel like something bad gonna happen to me if I don't wear my special charm, my necklace. People die all the time clutching some piece of jewelry that they thought was gonna keep them safe and all of this. And they passing it down. It's spirits in them things. Them things that take control of you, you know, and you'll be, man, it'll be spiritual, your connection with them. Be careful with that, right? All kinds of costly stones now. And what else? All the coloring tinctures. They rob the Most High, y'all. They rob the Most High with these tinctures, right? What's a tincture? That's a dye, right? We wasn't supposed, all of these colors that we're using, these hot pinks and these fluorescent colors and all of these beautiful colors, you could walk into the store and buy any color, you know, of anything nowadays. When think about back in them days, the only time you got to see colors like that is if the Holy Spirit brought it forth, right? Can you imagine that? How you appreciated that? How beautiful that was when you came around the corner or came up over the top of a hill or something, and it's pinks and purples and blues like this that I got on, and just all of the flowers, all of these colors, and you just stumbled over that, just like, whoa, right? Beauty, right? That used to be the only way you saw that, is if the Most High wanted to build some beautiful piece of forest somewhere, right? But nah, you get you some dye or some type of, you know, stain, and you could get those colors. That was taught by fallen angels, y'all. Fallen angels came and taught that. What else did they teach? Right? In coloring tinctures, and there arose much godlessness. Right? Why? Because they taught men how to go to war. They gave him the sword and the shield, and then they made all of these sisters beautiful, right? So you feeling macho, you know what I'm saying? But you like this woman, but she like him. I'm gonna stick this fool, right? You know, you can just imagine how the world went crazy, y'all. At what? Fallen angel influence, right? Now the sisters is bad. She batting her eyelid, she batting her eyelashes at you now, and you just like, whoa, you seeing a different woman. Man, that was witchcraft, y'all. And you got this sword and this shield, and you got all of these feelings, and you know, you mix with war and attraction and just jealousy, and you know what I mean? It was a powder keg, y'all. You know, it made a bomb, y'all. And it's because of this that the Most High started talking to Noah, like, listen, I'm about to do this, right? I'm about to destroy the earth, right? Start building this boat, right? That's how this came about, y'all, right? And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray. This pulled them away from the Most High, y'all, and became corrupt in all their ways, right? Simjaza, which is another one of them fallen angels, taught enchantments. So, what enchantments? That's a lot of things, y'all. You know, you got to tap into a jinn or something for enchantments. And they're doing that. It's a lot of things that they're doing today that you don't even know that's attached to this. The weatherman, that's enchantments. Okay. How are you gonna tell me what's gonna happen tomorrow? We ain't even got there yet. How you gonna tell me it's gonna rain? You know, how you gonna tell me how hot it's gonna be? How are you telling? They tapping in with a jinn, y'all. You know, How are you reading my palm and telling me my future and all of that, y'all? Those are enchantments, right? Horoscopes and all of that fall under this. It's not a lie. It's not fake. That's why, you know, it shocks you with the realness of it because it's real. It's not fake, right? We wasn't supposed to know this stuff, right? It ain't fake. We just wasn't supposed to know it. And you cheating. Somebody tell you what their zodiac is, now you know their whole personality. You know what to say to get close to them and everything. You know what to say to get them to let their guard down and all of that, you know? You know what trigger them. You know what they like. You know what they don't like. You know what they going to do next. You know all of this, you know? You know what went on between them and their ex, and you wasn't even there, you know, for their relationship, but you know how to appeal. You know what to say to them now to get them to trust you and make you think and make them think that you're the one, right? Oh, because I'm this kind of person and I don't do that. I don't do this, that. They ain't said nothing to you about it, but you're able to throw this stuff out there. You know, that's crazy. You know, this is this is witchcraft, y'all, right? Con. All of that is included in that. Enchantments, y'all. Lying. Lying is an enchantment, period. Right? And what else? And root cuttings. What is that? Tattoos, y'all. They taught tattoos. Cut your skin like this. Do this like that. Vortexes and stuff. Doors. Right? Doors to spirits, right? Cuttings in your flesh. Right? That's what a tattoo is. A tattoo is that. Or you got a tribal sign or something, you cut something into yourself. Man, that mean a lot. You are able to conjure up a lot with those things, you know. They're not empty. They're packed with spirits, right? These are enchantments taught by fallen angels, right? And root cuttings, right? And the resolving of enchantment, right? They taught astrology. Like I said, what's astrology? Horoscopes, right? And constellations, right? The knowledge of clouds. What do clouds mean? That's interesting, ain't it? And the signs of the earth and signs of the sun, right? In the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried. And their cry went up to heaven. So it's basically telling us when the world got flipped upside down, family. That's what this is telling us. Fallen angels brought it about. Shalom Milton, Shabbat Shalom Milton, Shabbat Shalom Sister Ella, humble law keeper, right? My brother Josh, Yahweh Shai, right? Kadaro, no. What do you know, Kadaro? Praise the Most High. My brother Kayan, we got to catch up, brother. I got to catch up with you, man. I'm sorry. Tripping. Got to see what's been going on with my brother, you know? Uh, yeah, I feel like I ain't said nothing, y'all. Stephanie Hodge, I think this is by far my most favorite live yet. This has been an incredible lesson. We just talking. I don't even know if it's a lesson. We just talking, you know? I just popped up, kabang, sat down, you sat down, all praise it. We just visiting with each other, right? Rubbing a little bit of it off on each other. That's all. The spirit of Christ, you know. So humble all, keep a Shabbat Shalom in the entire body of Christ. Yeah, the whole entire, the glorious body of Christ. Ain't we beautiful? Ain't Christ's children beautiful? We here, says Lady Judah. All praise to the Most High. Right? So we read Enoch 15 and Enoch chapter 8, y'all. That's what we went through. You know, somebody wants to get Exodus chapter 28, 5 through 8. And then we got to shut this down. It's getting a little long, right? Well, let's go there. Exodus 28, 5 through 8. And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen, and they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twin linen, with cunning work. It shall have the two shoulder pieces thereof joined at the two edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. 8. And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even the gold of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. Let's go to 9. And thou shalt take two onyx stones, engrave on them the names of the children of Israel. Right? One thing the Most High is not going to do, he's not going to play stupid with you, right? Once we get turned on to something that we wasn't supposed to be turned on to, then he begins to deal with us on that basis, right? He's not going to continue acting with us as if we don't know something that we know. He has to deal with us on the level of intelligence and knowledge that we have, right? He's not going to treat us dumb, right? Knowing that we're not. The same way it happened with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, right? Once they bit that fruit, he didn't keep forcing on them as if they hadn't bit it, right? He had to start dealing with them on that level, right? And they, got the fig leaf, right? Who told you you were naked, right? No, I'm gonna deal with you on that level, right? And that's what happened. That's how that went, right? All praises to the Most High. But yeah, that's how he gonna deal with us, y'all. He gonna go forward dealing with us like that. You got turned out. I tried to save you from this, right? Because your safety was in you not even knowing this, right? If thou become as little children again, right? Then you shall be saved. How can you go backwards? You make this stuff not even matter, right? You pick up the love, you say, I'm a love no matter what. I'm on a love. Love reverses you, right? It's as if all of the bad things didn't happen. Love restores you. Love takes you back to square one, right? I know you wronged me. I know you did me cold, right? but I'm going to choose love. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to love. You know, I choose to do that. We can choose to do that, y'all. Right? And the wizard is 1 Samuel chapter 28. This is good. This is good stuff, y'all. I can't go nowhere. We got to read that. Right? Let's read that before we go. And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines, right, gathered their armies together for warfare to fight with Israel, right? And Achish said to David, "Know thou absurdly that thou shalt go out with me to battle, thou and thy men too." And David said unto Achish, "Surely thou shalt know what thy servant can do." And Achish said to David, uh, "Therefore will I make thee keeper of mine head forever." Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him, right? So they was sad for him, and buried him in Ramah, right? Even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa 5. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. 6. And when Saul inquired of the Lord, Salakia, the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Then said Saul unto his servants, "Seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit." Yikes. That I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servants said of him, "Behold, there is a woman that has a familiar spirit in Endor." That's a no-no. That's a no-no, Saul. Brother, right? And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, "I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee." And the woman said unto him, "Behold, thou knowest what Saul has done, how he has cut off those that have familiar spirits and wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life, to cause me to die?" Right? So he went back to get help from the people that he was killing, right? She like, "You ain't finna kill me? Didn't you just kill all them other people for the same reason? How you gonna come acquire of me?" How deep is that, y'all? Right? 10. And Saul swear to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. Samuel, right? 12. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. Oh my God, you are the one who was killing everybody, right? And now you done caught me, right? You deceived me, right? He galled her. 13, for the king to her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said also unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. She saw gods ascending, rising out of the earth, right? 14, and he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. Thou shalt not bow unto them, right? Nor serve them, right? And Saul and Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee and is become thine enemy? 17. And the Lord has done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord has rent the kingdom out of thine hand and given up to thy neighbor, even to David. 18, because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executed his fierce wrath upon Amalek, therefore has the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. 19, moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. And the Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hands of the Philistines. Right? 20. Then Saul fell straightway all along the earth, all along on the earth, and was sore afraid because of the words of Samuel. And there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all the day, nor all the night. 21. And the woman came unto Saul and saw that he was sore troubled, and said unto him, behold, thine handmaid has obeyed thy voice, and I have put my life I have put my life in my hand, and have hearkened unto thy words which thou speakest unto me. 22. Now therefore I pray thee, hearken thou also unto the voice of thine handmaid, and let me set a morsel of bread before thee, and eat, that thou mayest have strength when thou goest on thy way, right? Eat and get out of here, right? You done caused all the trouble, right? 23. But he refused and said, I will not eat. But his servants together and the woman compelled him, and he hearkened unto their voice. So he arose from the earth and sat upon the bed. 24. And the woman had a fat calf in the house, and she hasted and killed it, and took flour and knelt and kneaded it, and did bake unleavened bread thereof. 25. And she brought it before Saul and before his servants, and they did eat, but they rose up and went away that night. Right? All praises to the Most High, y'all. It was a blessed one tonight. I'll tap in at some point tomorrow. No, Milton. Psalm chapter 25. No, we're not going to be able to do it. Right? Or we'll be here all night. But bless you, brother. I appreciate you. You know, and we'll go live tomorrow if it be the Father's will. He bring us all back before this screen again. You know, we'll do it again. And right, y'all enjoy y'all Sabbath night and be blessed. Right? What are we trying to do, y'all? Mainly, we're trying to be clean, y'all. Mind, body, and spirit, y'all. Anything dirty, right? We don't want that. We don't want that on us. We don't want that in us. That should be your mission every day, to be clean inside and out, right? Mind, body, and spirit, y'all. Get that nastiness up out of you, right? Now, you see why we don't want to be fighting and doing any of these things. You see how the love is the opposite of these things, right? The love is the opposite of what? To afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, work destruction on the earth, cause trouble, right? Even down to the food. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, right? So what is your food promoting, right? I didn't get on nothing crazy. And matter of fact, the Most High had me on this before I knew. You know, I knew that, I mean, we didn't want our kidneys to shut down like mine did. I knew that. But man, this is on such deep of a level, y'all. Man, this is on a deep level. This is controlling your moods and all of that, right? I started learning about this food and what this stuff does, what starch does, what sugar does, what table salt does, not sea salt, not the white sea salt or the pink Himalayan salt, but that table salt, right? And most of your other seasonings, they ain't talking about sea salt. They didn't use sea salt to make that stuff, right? And that's the horrible stuff that's running your sodium up. It's doing something different than the actual real salt is doing to you, right? That white granulated sugar is doing something different to you than the sugarcane sugar, the soft beige or brown stuff, right? Or the stuff that's coming out of fruit. Matter of fact, Keep your sugar in fruit, right? Because the sugar that's in your fruit, the rest of the stuff that's coming in that fruit is made to complement that sugar. It's giving everything you need to have you uh, ingest that sugar right, right? It's giving multiple components. So imagine you didn't dumped all the rest of them components, but you didn't just took all the sugar out of that fruit, y'all. Your body is going to be looking for the rest of the stuff that's coming with that sugar, right? And it ain't there because you just extracted the sugar from the fruit and left all the fiber and left all of the other stuff, right? So you know what's going to happen? Your body is going to mass produce insulin, right? To get rid of the sugar that you just ate, the sugar content. And that's going to tire your pancreas out. And when your pancreas tires out, guess what that is? Diabetes. That's how we getting it, right? So ponder, y'all. Ponder and discern, right? But man, it's it's 1:53, right? So let's go on and we might as well just go on and chop this up, right? Uh till we get to that 2 hour mark, right? Uh that's just a little bit about food. We're gonna give a little bit about food every now and then. We're gonna break into that. And whatever we go into, just know that we nip it in the bud when we grow our own food, kill our own meat, right? Automatically, this goes out the window when we start doing that, right? So, you know, I didn't know why the Most High put that inside of me to start speaking about, right? But it comes clearer and clearer every day, you know. Praise the Most High. Praise His holy name. He know what He doing. Don't you know? We can't question our Father. He knows what He's doing. Right? Shout out to Jerry. Y'all stay tuned. Get with him about them grants. Just call him and talk to him. See what you can do. You could call him with half of an idea and he'll help you get the rest. Right? Just call him and see what y'all can figure out. Right? Donations, y'all. Thanks for the donations that y'all sent, y'all, that y'all are sending that's coming through the Cashapp. Thank you guys so much, man. I can't thank y'all enough, y'all. All praises to the Most High, right? Shout out to California. Everybody in California, tap in. We need you, right? Let's hit this block tomorrow. Whoever's up for it, let's go out, take the love of Christ to the public, not tomorrow, but after the Sabbath, Sunday, right? And wherever you are, y'all get together. Y'all that I put together, y'all get together and y'all take some love of Christ to the public, y'all. That's why we coming together. That's why we doing this, right? All praise to the Most High. Right, shout out to California. Shout out to Arizona. If you're in Arizona, link in. Be a part of this thing. Right? Help us. Right? Vegas, Colorado. If you're in these places, tap in. Right? Come among the brethren and let's get this thing popping. Right? Shout out to Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, all of Texas. Right? Shout out to the big TX. Right? North Carolina getting popping. right? I would love if Aaron tapped in. I think he in North Carolina. Man, that'd be beautiful. Y'all get with brother Ramak, right? He chopping at the bit, ready to hit the block. Get with him, right? Shout out to Ephesia and her husband. They're in North Carolina, and they got with Trip. All praises to the Most High. I'm so happy about that, right? Beautiful thing going, and I will be there soon, right? I'm planning to go out to North Carolina soon, so I'll see y'all there, right? But after I go to Vegas and after I go to Arizona, I'm gonna tap in with them first. So be ready for me, D Rich, right? Brother Yahweh Shai, be ready for me. We're gonna do our brute thing, right? Shout out to Georgia. Shout out to Florida, Tampa Bay, Orlando, and Miami, right? If you guys are located in them areas, file in, right? Report to the Most High in Christ, right? Let's serve this love. I'm eager. If you eager as me, I mean, you ain't got to be sitting home. You ain't got to sit home. If you sitting home, it's because you want to. You know, if you're in these places, right? Shout out Virginia. Shout out South Louisiana, right? Shout out Detroit. Shout out Kentucky, right? Shout out Macon, Atlanta, Cincinnati. Shout out Ohio, right? Shout out to Ohio. We in Ohio. File in. You know. Shout out Cleveland, Cincinnati, right? Shout out to the DMV, right? DMV, that's a new one. File in, right? We're in the DMV now. Shout out New Zealand. File in, right? Shout out South Africa. I know I'm forgetting some places. I'll be trying to write them down as I have these long, beautiful conversations with the brethren, right? And I know that they're ready, and some of them are up and going, right? And I'll be writing it down. I'll be writing it down in different places. But y'all file in. How do you file in? Yes, Kentucky, file in, please. Come among us. I want to know you. I want to meet you, and all of that. This is what you hit right here. Kapow. Hit that. Let me know where you're at. I'll link you in. West Virginia. How far is Petersburg from that? Right? And we need somebody in Norfolk. I got people trying to file in from other parts of Virginia too. So if you in Virginia, y'all file in. You know, San Antonio, Texas. All praise it to the Most High. That's brother JJ. Tap in with JJ. Right? He doing his thing in that area. Big boy. Big boy. Hold on, I'm coming, man. Jeez. Right? Uh Sister Ella, where was you at again? Kentucky, right? You in Kentucky? Where you at, Ella? Right, come on. Yeah, we coming together, y'all. We gonna assemble. It's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, you in Kentucky? Lexington. That's right. That's right. Well, tap in, other Ock in Kentucky. Uh, or Kamad. Kamad. Excuse me. You got to get that from the back of the throat, right? Like the Arabic. The Arabic stole that from us, right? Kamad, right? It's not a K. It's not Kamad, right? It's Kamad, right? All praise to the Most High. I like the Hebrew we got, man. The brother of mine whom I love, he called me the other day, like, that's not the real Hebrew. Guess what? It is now. The Most High said, I will turn to you a pure language. You know, I'm not interested in no other Hebrew that somebody wants to teach. Nah, I would like it better if nobody's speaking it but us. And you could call it fake and false all you want. But if we done form some language, you better believe it came straight from the Most High, right? And like I said, what is a baby born saying? Listen to a baby when they start talking. And that stuff that they're saying, that's a heavenly language, y'all. And it sounds like Abba, God, God, Ha, Waz, Ah, Ka, Taya, you know, Tazaz, Salakia, that sounds more natural to me. I love how we have that going. I wouldn't change that, right? And I would rather somebody not know what we saying. They've been doing it to us all the time. They start bada 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 talking some stuff, and we just standing there. We don't know if they talking about us or not. You know, how somebody gonna tell us what they teaching us? That's crazy. How to talk? What we go? Nah, right? Zephaniah 2:9, and I will turn unto you a pure language, right? Yeah, that means they ain't gonna be done got all of their hands on it. If a Hebrew didn't make it up, I don't want nothing to do with it. Right? If one of the brothers didn't come with it, right? Shout out to Abba Bivens, you know what I'm saying? If that's who came with it. Nah, we ain't interested in changing that, you know? No, thank you. I'd rather keep on doing this, you know? So, yeah. And that's 106. So, Shalom, y'all. Y'all enjoy your Sabbath, right? A lot of us want to present calendars. Keep presenting your calendars, you know. I'm going to put all you calendar brothers together and y'all can deal with that, you know. Why? Because nothing matters but 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Long as that's involved, y'all could work out the details. I ain't tripping, you know. You know, you calendar genius, y'all come together and y'all figure that out and y'all just let me know what y'all decide and what we doing. you know, uh yeah, language and all of that, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 13 crushes it, right? It's gonna pass away, right? It's gonna mean nothing, you know. Where's JJ? He's somewhere in Central Texas. He's somewhere around. He took San Antonio when we was talking. He was like, "Yeah, that's by me." I was like, "All right, send him. Send him. I send him to you then." And this was a while ago. He was like one of the first people I spoke to. Right. So San Antonio, being ready. Matter of fact, he was over here with me, and I seen him last week in LA. Right, we hung out, and he went after that. He went back to Texas after that. So he in Texas now. He's there now. He was over here with me, but he's back there now. So I'm sorry about that. It's time to assemble San Antonio and all of mid Texas. Right, we got Yashariah up north. Dallas, Fort Worth, and we got Brother Peasy. Oh, no, Peasy is in OKC. Matter of fact, OKC, link in. Y'all got strength there. Y'all got my brother Yashariah, and y'all got Peasy. So I got to get over there with y'all soon too. Y'all link up and y'all hit that block. You know what I'm saying? And take the love of Christ to that block, man. And show them that Christ ain't dead, y'all. Right? Christ is alive, and he coming to your block. Right? It's time to wake up, right? And understand how important. Hey, you interrupted me, boy. What's your problem? Told you to wait a minute. Who you talking to? I need to get the Quete. Who is that? Is you all right? Hmm? Go get him, big boy. Get your squad and go get him. It's enough of y'all. You're always fighting each other. You better fight for this property. All praise it to a higher. But yeah, y'all, let's do this. Let's do this thing. Everywhere you're at. Right? The more places they can feel it, the better. Right? And let's just put some smiles on faces and change some moods. When we do that, we eliminating demons, y'all. All praises to the Most High. I love every single last one of y'all. Shout out War and Peace. Right? Uh, we'll tap in. We'll tap in one more time for the Sabbath. Right? But, I guess that's it, y'all. Right? Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy y'all Sabbath. I pray it be the best one you've seen and kept in a long time. Right? I'm going to catch up with y'all. Shabbat Shalom.